Row after row of black caps fill the Southern New Hampshire University auditorium. I scan the faces of proud families clutching bouquets, balloons bobbing against the ceiling, phones raised high to capture every precious moment. 3 empty seats. Mock me from the 4th row reserved but abandoned. My phone vibrates, the group text from Mom glows on the screen. Sorry, honey. You know how Uncle Greg gets about Super Bowl Sunday, been hosting for 20 years. We'll celebrate next weekend. AXO, I click. The screen, dark fingers trembling. 6 years of night classes flash through my mind. Double shifts at the insurance company dinner from vending machines. Every invitation declined because I had to study, every holiday worked so someone else could be with their family. The reliable Toyota I sold to pay for my final semester, the health insurance I canceled to cover books. Lauren Elizabeth Summers, my row stands. The dean's voice echoes through the sound system as I walk toward the stage, my sensible heels click against the hardwood, the only pair I own bought at Goodwill for interviews. The weight of my graduation gown feels heavier with each step. Bachelor of Business Administration, summa cum laude. The dean's smile is warm as she hands me my diploma. I force my lips to curve upward, but my eyes keep drifting to those empty seats. The paper in my hands represents thousands of hours of sacrifice, endless nights hunched over textbooks, while my family hosted neighborhood parties downstairs telling me to study in my room because you're the one who wanted this degree so badly. My chest tightens as I return to my seat. The ceremony continues, but I barely register the remaining names. My phone buzzes again, Dad. This time we'll catch the next one, like I'm going to spend another 6 years earning another degree, just so they can skip that graduation too, just like they skipped my community college graduation 3 years ago. Car trouble, they said. But Facebook showed them at my brother. Ethan's Super Bowl party, Mom proudly displaying her 7-layer dip, Dad wearing his lucky jersey, the same brother who borrowed $3,000 for rent last year. I found out through his Instagram story, him waving Super Bowl tickets, caption reading, "Sometimes you gotta treat yourself." I saw you. The dean's closing remarks fade into background noise. All I can hear is the echo of conversations that should have warned me. Lauren, honey, you're so good with money. Your father just needs a little help with the mortgage. Come on, sis. What's family for if we can't help each other out? You're not using your savings for anything important right now. Anyway, the ceremony ends. Families flood the aisles, wrapping graduates in tearful embraces. I stand alone in my wrinkled gown, the February wind whipping through the open doors of the auditorium. My diploma case feels like ice in my hands. I dial Mom's number, stepping into the cold parking lot. My eyes blur as I listen to the ring, watching happy families stream past with armfuls of flowers. Oh, Rachel, how was it, sweetie? Mom's voice carries the artificial brightness she uses when she knows she's done something wrong in the background. I hear the clinking of dishes, the rumble of crowd noise, the sports seer's voice announcing the pregame. Show, how is it my voice cracks? How is walking across that stage knowing nobody who claims to love me bothered to show up now, honey? You know it's tradition. Uncle Mike's been hosting for 20 years. I spent 6 years earning this degree. Mom, 6 years? Don't be dramatic. The sympathy in her voice vanishes. It's just a piece of paper. You can show it to us next weekend. Dad's voice carries through the phone. Tell her we'll catch the next one. The next one like this moment could ever be recreated like 6 years of my life meant nothing more than a minor scheduling conflict. I stand in the February cold, tears freezing on my cheeks, and finally see the truth. I've been avoiding. They never saw me. They only saw what I could do for them. The reliable daughter, the human ATM, the one who would sacrifice everything to keep them happy while they gave nothing in return. My fingers move across the phone screen, pulling up the airline app I downloaded months ago but never had the courage to use. A one-way ticket to Colorado appears, the Vail Mountain Lodge spa package I've dreamed about but always dismissed as selfish. One click, my first truly selfish act in years. The confirmation email arrives as I walk to my car, diploma clutched against my chest like a shield behind me. The last families exit the auditorium, their laughter and celebration fading into the winter air. Would you have forgiven your family for missing the biggest day of your life? I already know my answer. With these thoughts, I went home and started preparing for my upcoming trip. Now, a week later, the hot stones trace a path along my spine, each point of warmth melting 6 years of tension. My first real massage, a gift to myself that would have bought 3 textbooks last semester. My phone vibrates against the wooden table beside me again. The 13th time in 2 hours. Would you like me to put that in airplane mode for you? The masseuse's voice floats through lavender-scented air. Her hands never stop their gentle pressure. No, the word catches in my throat. I need to know. Need to know what fresh disaster my family creates while I hide in this mountain sanctuary. Need to see how they spin my disappearance. Need proof I made the right choice. The stones shift to my shoulders. My phone buzzes again. Tara's text breaks through the barrage of family messages. Check Facebook. When you can, you need to. The massage ends too soon. I wrap myself in the plush robe provided by Vale Mountain Lodge, hands shaking as I unlock my phone. 3 voicemails, 14 texts, 1 email with the subject line, "Your mother is crying." And I start with Mom's voicemail. "Lauren, honey, I hate to ask, but we're a little short this month. Just need $500 for groceries. You know how prices are these days." Dad's message follows, "Princess. Remember that loan I mentioned? The bank needs a cosigner. Nothing to worry about, just a formality. Call me back." Jack's voice drips with familiar manipulation. "Sis, you'll never believe what happened. Lost my wallet at Uncle Mike's, need to borrow some cash until payday. Don't tell Mom and Dad." "Okay, my finger." Hovers over Jasmine's message. The robe suddenly feels too warm, too confining. I open Facebook. The first post punches the air from my lungs. Mom's perfect 7-layer dip arranged on Uncle Greg's coffee table. Another successful Super Bowl spread. 20 years of tradition. The timestamp matches my graduation ceremony. Jack's post follows, put $5 K on the Chiefs, who's with me, posted an hour after texting me about his lost wallet comments, flood the photos, relatives praising Mom's cooking friends. Congratulating Ethan on his bet, Dad sharing links to next year's Super Bowl packages. Not one mention of my graduation, Tara's message blinks. "There's more, check your credit report." The spa's Wi-Fi crawls as I log into Credit Karma. Unauthorized inquiries litter my report like cigarette burns, Chase. American Express, 3 different store cards, all within the past month. My phone rings. Mom's number. "Have you thought about that, grocery money? Honey, times are tight." The stones from my massage sit in a heated basket nearby. I imagine hurling them through the window, watching the perfect Colorado snow shatter, like my illusions. "Lauren, are you there? Times aren't tight enough to skip betting on the Super Bowl, are they?" Silence crackles through the connection. Then Jack shouldn't have posted that. He's just excited. Stop. My voice sounds foreign, stretched tight across fury and grief. "I saw the pictures, Mom, while I walked across that stage alone. You were arranging dip on Uncle Greg's coffee table now. Rachel, family helps family. That's what we do. Family helps family." The laugh tears my throat. "Is that why there are credit inquiries I never authorized on my report?" The silence stretches longer this time in the background. I hear Dad's voice. "Is that Rachel? Tell her about the loan. Don't you dare." The words slice through Mom's excuses. "Don't you dare ask me for one more thing." My finger finds the block button. As Dad's voice rises, the screen goes dark. Relief floods my system, chased immediately by crushing guilt. Good daughters don't block their parents. Good daughters don't run away to luxury spas while their families need help. My phone lights up with Jasmine's call. I talk to my cousin Naomi. She's a lawyer, specializes in identity theft. She says, "You need to file a police report immediately." I can't do that to them. The words come automatically, programming too deep to override. "They're family, honey. Family doesn't steal your identity. Family doesn't miss your graduation for a football game. Family doesn't." A knock interrupts. The spa concierge stands in my doorway, concern etched across her features. "Miss Summers, we've upgraded you to our Mountain View suite, no charge. I didn't ask for. You're not the first person I've seen make these calls." She steps inside, closing the door softly. "My mother emptied my accounts the day I graduated college. Said I owed her for raising me." The tears finally break free. She hands me a tissue, then another. "The suite has a better security system," she adds quietly, "and a private entrance." My phone vibrates, another credit alert. They open a Macy's card. In my name yesterday. I pick up my phone, hand steady now. "Tara, give me Naomi's number and the name of a good accountant." The mountain snow falls outside my window, each flake a promise of fresh starts, of boundaries sharp as February frost, of a life where love doesn't require sacrifice, a life where I'm finally free. My phone buzzes one last time before I block Ethan's number. His message glows like a warning. "You're selfish if you won't help Dad out after everything they've done for you, everything they've done for me. Like missing my graduation to watch football, like stealing my identity while I earned my degree, like teaching me that love means giving until you break." I text Hera back. "I'm ready, call, Naomi." When does family loyalty become self-destruction? I already know my answer after the vacation was over. I came back to my apartment, met with Naomi and Jasmine, and prepared the necessary documents to fight my family. They need to learn boundaries once and for all. A whole month has passed that way now on a Thursday night. The banging on my apartment door jolts me awake at 3 a.m. Through the peephole. Dad's red face fills mine. Mom hovers behind him, wringing her hands in that way she does when she wants something. Jack leans against the hallway wall, arms crossed. Watching the show. I step back from the door. Phone already in hand. The landlord's number rings twice. Miss Thompson. I'm so sorry to bother you this late, but your family is here claiming they need emergency access to retrieve their property. My laugh comes out harsh. Their property, everything I own, I bought. Myself with the money they borrowed and never paid back. Should I call the police? I watch Dad pound the door again. The wood frame shutters. Yes, please. My phone lights up with Mom's latest voicemail. I tap play, setting it on speaker while I pack Lauren honey. How could you do this to us after all we've done for you? Her voice breaks with practice, perfection. I've heard this performance before, when she needed money for the roof that never got fixed, when Ethan needed bail money that bought super bowl tickets, when Dad's business was struggling while he gambled away his savings. The next message plays automatically. Dad's voice booms through the speaker. I'll tell everyone what kind of daughter you really are. Ungrateful, selfish, after we sacrificed everything. I delete the rest without listening. My hands shake as I dial the number Jasmine's lawyer cousin gave me. He picks up after 3 rings, financial abuse documentation. The advisor's voice carries no judgment, just quiet competence. Bring everything you have: bank statements, loan documents, any texts or emails showing patterns of manipulation. I entered my cabinet 2 minutes later. My filing cabinet yields 6 years of evidence. Every emergency loan, every guilt-inducing request, every promise of repayment. Broken. The stack grows higher on my kitchen table while red and blue lights flash through my window. The police arrive as Ethan starts his performance. Sis, come on, open up. We're worried about you. Their voices fade as officers escort them away. I sink into my chair surrounded by papers that tell the story of my family's betrayal in cold hard numbers, but I won't give up. I rearrange the documents and put them into a bag. They are proof of what my family has done to me all these years. I was ready to meet my lawyer early in the morning. Morning brings clarity and steel into my spine. The lawyer's office smells of leather and authority. My documentation spreads across his mahogany desk like battle plans. Identity theft. He taps the credit report showing cards opened in my name, unauthorized loans, financial coercion. Each term lands like a hammer, nailing down the coffin of my family's manipulation. The email he helps me craft takes 10 minutes to write, and a lifetime of courage to send any further contact will go through. My attorney attempts to contact me directly will be documented as harassment. I expect silence. Instead, my laptop screen fills with their faces, a video call. I shouldn't answer, but do one last time. Dad's mask slips instantly. You owe us. We raised you, raised me. The words taste like vinegar. You raised me to be your personal bank, your safety net, your get-out-of-jail-free card. Jack's face reens. You think you're better than us now with your fancy degree and you're better? No, just awake? Mom's tears start right on cue when they don't work. Her expression hardens. Where your family helps family. Doesn't steal identities, family doesn't open credit cards in their daughter's name. Family. Shows up for graduation, the screen goes black after the meeting. I went straight back to my office for further preparations. The same day, the atmosphere at my office feels different. Safer messages of support flood my phone. Tarara's flight confirmation to help me move an offer of temporary housing in Portland from the spa retreat owner who witnessed my breakdown. The Portland job offer arrives that afternoon. 6 figures, signing bonus, a fresh start, 3,000 men away. My hands steady as I download the credit freeze forms. The cease and desist letter goes out. Certified mail, each signature feels like breaking a chain. I stand at my office window, watching the sunlight paint the sky in colors of possibility. For the first time in my life, the weight of family obligation lifts from my shoulders. The air tastes different, lighter, sweeter. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. I silence it without checking. Next to me on the desk. Portland contracts wait for my signature. Behind me, the wall calendar shows the end of March, marked with red X's counting down the days until my new life begins. The question echoes in my mind as I sign my name. How much is your peace of mind worth? Everything. It turns out, everything. 2 weeks later, I am moving out. The cardboard box scrapes against my apartment floor as I slide it toward the door. My entire life in Hartford fits into 12 boxes, each labeled in precise black Sharpie. The movers arrive in 20 minutes. My phone hasn't rung in 3 days, the longest silence for my family since I blocked their numbers. I touch the diploma hanging on my wall, tracing the gold embossing one last time before wrapping it in bubble wrap. The frame cost 2 weeks of grocery money, but seeing my achievement properly displayed instead of stuffed in a drawer helped me sleep at night. A knock at the door sends my heart racing until I hear Jasmine's voice. "Lauren, you decent." She stands in the hallway holding two paper coffee cups, her silver hair swept into her signature messy bun. "Brought you real coffee. None of that vending machine sludge you usually drink. You're a lifesaver." The rich aroma of French roast fills my nostrils as I take a sip. The movers come at 900 and I know Tara sets her cup down and surveys my apartment. "You really did it. You're really leaving. Portland's waiting." The words still feel strange on my tongue. 2 weeks ago, I accepted the department manager position at Western Insurance's Oregon office, double my current salary, full benefits, a signing bonus that covered first and last month's rent on a downtown apartment. My phone buzzes another email from Dad's lawyer demanding a response to their reasonable request for family reconciliation. I delete it without reading. They hired a private investigator, Tara says, watching my face. Jackie from accounting saw him asking questions in the break room yesterday. A laugh bubbles up from my chest, surprising us both. Let them waste their money by tonight. I'll be gone. The movers arrive exactly on time. I watch them load my life into their truck, each box of brick in the wall I'm building between my past and future. My neighbor, Mrs. Chen, waves from her balcony. She thinks I'm moving for a promotion. She doesn't know about the cease and desist letter in my desk drawer or the police report documenting years of financial abuse, my LinkedIn post about graduating. Despite family sabotage went viral last week, 300,000 views, thousands of comments from other survivors, job offers from across the country, Dad's gambling debts exposed in the comments. When his bookie's wife recognized our story, brother Ethan's embezzlement from Uncle Greg's construction company, revealed by a former employee, the professional community that ignored my family's social media smear campaign, embraced me instead. Women in finance, corporate mentors, survivors of financial abuse who recognize their own stories. In Mind Thoughts, take me to my new apartment in Portland, waiting above the city lights secured through my future coworker Amanda's real estate connections. The women's professional network there already added me to their leadership committee. My therapist connected me with a support group that meets Tuesday nights. Miss Summers, the head mover, brought me back to reality. He holds out a clipboard. "Just need your signature here." I signed my name with steady hands through the window. I watched them load the last box, the one containing my mother's china, the set she promised would be mine when I married. Then sold at a yard sale to cover Ethan's gambling debts. I found identical pieces at estate sales, slowly rebuilding. What was stolen? My phone lights up with a text from Amanda. "In Portland, office is ready. Team, can't wait to meet you Monday." The promotion blindsided my family department manager at 30, the position Dad always claimed I'd never qualify for without his connections. The job Ethan expected would be his. Once he put in his time, Tara helps me do one final sweep of the apartment under the sink. I find Ethan's old baseball trophy, one he threw at my door the night I refused to co-sign his car loan. The glass base shattered, leaving the golden player eternally pitching to no one. "Want to keep it?" Jasmine asks. I drop it in the trash. The hollow thunk echoes through the empty apartment. My phone buzzes again. Uncle Mike's name appears, the first family member to contact me directly since the restraining order. Lauren, his voice sounds older than I remember. "I saw your post about graduation day, about the Super Bowl, Uncle Mike." 20 years I hosted that party. 20 years. Your father used my house to place bets with his bookie buddies. Your brother stealing from my company to cover his losses. He pauses. I'm shutting down the party permanently, and I'm pressing charges against Ethan. Tears blur my vision as I thank him and end the call. Outside the moving truck rumbles Life Ready. Tara holds out my coat. I take one last look at the apartment where I spent 6 years studying, dreaming, surviving the mark on the wall where my diploma hung. The window where I watched so many sunrises cramming for exams. I'm ready. The door clicks shut behind us. In my pocket, my phone vibrates with another blocked call from my mother. I silence it without looking. Tara drives me to the airport, hugging me tight at security. "Show them what you're made of." Boss lady, we part, and I fly towards my new life. 6 hours. Later, I stand in my new apartment, watching Portland's lights twinkle through Florida to ceiling windows. The moving truck arrives tomorrow tonight. I have only what fits in my suitcase. Me diploma, my laptop, and my future. My phone chimes with a calendar reminder. First therapy appointment next week. Dr. Richardson specializes in family trauma and financial abuse. She already helped me draft boundaries for my new life. No contact with family members who participated in financial exploitation. No lending money without a formal contract. No accepting guilt trips or emotional manipulation. No compromising my peace for others. Comfort, a text from my new team. Lights up my phone. Welcome dinner tomorrow night. We're your Portland family now. Family. The word sits differently in my chest. Now, lighter, chosen instead of inherited. Built on respect instead of obligation. I unzip my suitcase and pull out my diploma. Tomorrow. I'll hang it in my office where everyone can see it, where no one will question. My right to display it, where success isn't a betrayal and ambition isn't a sin. The city lights shimmer, like stars fall into earth somewhere below. My new life waits my peace, my power, my truth. I am Rachel Elizabeth Summers, department manager, survivor, warrior, and I am finally completely free. Freedom, though, isn't the end. It's the beginning of everything. I had to rebuild the next 6 years, taught me how to lead without apology, to own my voice in rooms that once silenced me, step by step. Transformed from the woman who escaped into the one who inspires. Now 6 months later, they show up again. Security guard Brian Harris spots them first. His hand touches my elbow as I prepare to take the stage at the Pacific Northwest Business Leaders Conference. Miss Summers, your family is in the lobby. The words hit like ice water. 300 professionals fill the ballroom, waiting for my keynote on financial independence. My hands tremble as I smooth my blazer, the Emerald Saint. I treated myself to. After the promotion, they won't get past the doors, John promises, but they do. Dad bursts through just as I reach the podium. His suit hangs loose on his frame, his eyes wild. Jack trails behind, phone raised to record whatever scene they plan to create. Mom clutches her chest, wobbling in practice, distress. That's our daughter. Dad's voice booms across the silent room. She abandoned us, left us to rot while she got rich. I grip the podium. The teleprompter blinks, waiting. 300 faces turn toward the commotion. Our Rachel, Mom wails, breaking her poor mother's heart. The audience murmurs, phones emerge, my career flashes before my eyes. Everything I've built in Portland crumbling under the weight of viral family drama. But something shifts inside me. Therapy, 2 promotions, a restraining order they apparently ignored. I am not that scared girl in the graduation parking lot anymore. Security, I say into the microphone, my voice steady. Please remove these people. They are in violation of a court order. Jack steps forward, phone still recording. We'll sue you for abandonment, for elder abuse. Tell them how you left Mom to suffer. A laugh bubbles up, genuine, unexpected. Mom's 58. Ethan and those Instagram posts from her tennis tournament last week suggest she's suffering just fine. The audience titters. Mom drops her hand from her chest, face flushing. You ungrateful little dad lunges toward the stage. 4 security guards intercept him. The crowd gasps. Phones flash, but I don't flinch. Ladies and gentlemen, I say into the microphone, you're witnessing exactly why I'm passionate about financial independence. Sometimes the people who should protect you are the ones you need protection from. They drag my family out, Dad shouting about ungrateful children, Mom's theatrical sobs echoing. Jack's phone keeps recording until security confiscates it. The room falls silent. I take a deep breath, straighten my shoulders. My keynote today was going to be about investment strategies, but let's talk about something more important. How to recognize when love becomes a weapon. For the next hour, I tell them everything. The graduation betrayal, the stolen identity, the years of manipulation. The audience leans forward, spellbound. When I finish, they rise as one. Applause thundering through the ballroom. Margaret Chen from Penguin Random House catches me afterward. We need this story, she says, pressing her card into my hand. Full manuscript on my desk in 6 months. I just nod and go out of the conference room, but the show isn't over. That moment, Dad's latest attorney has fourth fidgets in the lobby, Miss Summers. Perhaps we could discuss a settlement. I open my briefcase and show him my documents. Perhaps we should discuss the credit cards opened in my name, fraudulent loan applications, social security number. Theft color drains from the attorney's face as I lay out document after document, 6 years of evidence, bank statements, credit reports forged. Signatures I'll need to consult with my clients, he stammers. No need, a new voice joins us. Detective Sandra Morris holds up a warrant. Robert and Ethan Summers, you're under arrest for identity theft and wire fraud. They lead my father and brother away in handcuffs. Mom crumples onto a bench, her performance finally reaching its finale. Lauren, please, she whispers. They didn't mean it. We can still be a family. I study her face, the familiar lines, the manipulation behind her tears. For the first time, I feel nothing but pity. We stopped being a family the day you chose Super Bowl Sunday over my graduation. I just took time to accept it. My mother says nothing follows them to the police while I go home to prepare for endless meetings and documents for the new clients. A whole week passes in a rash. However, the following Friday afternoon, I will meet my family in the courtroom. The judge will see you now, my lawyer announces inside the courtroom. Justice arrives in black and white, the restraining order becomes permanent. Dad and Ethan's charges multiply as evidence mounts. The judge's gavel echoes like freedom. Uncle Mike arrives. As we exit the Super Bowl party, host himself, his face is granite as he faces my mother. 20 years of hosting, he says, and use my parties to cover up stealing from your own daughter. The family's done with you, Pat. All of us. Mom's mask cracks, real tears now. But I don't stay to watch them fall outside. Portland's rain washes the courthouse steps. My phone buzzes with messages, colleagues offering support. Margaret checking on the book deal, Tara sending heart emojis, a text from Uncle Greg. Proud of you, kiddo. Wish I'd known sooner. I click the phone dark, remembering another rainy day, another phone full of excuses. The frightened girl in the graduation parking lot feels like a stranger. Now the courthouse doors open behind me. Detective Morris emerges with evidence boxes. You okay? She asks. I tilt my face to the rain. You know what? For the first time in my life, I really am. The investigation will take months, the headlines will fade, the book will find its audience, but none of that matters right now. I am Rachel Morgan Carter. I am free. The rain continues to fall, washing away the last chains of obligation, leaving only truth behind when forgiveness becomes enabling. The bravest love is letting go. I am just sorry. I needed 6 long years to realize it. At the present, the Portland spring rain taps against my office window. 6 years of change spread across the walls and frames, photos, certificates, newspaper clippings. My original business degree hangs in the center, those empty auditorium seats captured forever in a snapshot below it. Next to that, a packed conference hall from last month's keynote speech. My reflection watches me from the glass shoulders, straight chin high. The door opens. Sarah, my newest mentee, clutches a thick folder to her chest. The bank statements you asked for. Her voice trembles. Dad opened 3 credit cards in my name, I gesture. To the chair across from my desk, the leather cacks as she sinks into it, shoulders hunched exactly like mine used to be. You're already ahead of where I was. I tell her you caught it early. Her eyes drift to the wall of photographs. Will I ever stop feeling guilty? The question echoes through 6 years of therapy sessions. Dr. Patterson's voice comes back to me. Guilt is the ghost of expectations we never chose to carry. The guilt changes shape. I say it becomes something else, something stronger. The intercom buzzes Miss Summers. Your 420 is here early, the scholarship committee. I smile at Naomi, want to sit in, see where this path can lead. She nods, spine straightening just a fraction. The conference room fills with board members, successful professionals who've become my chosen family. Tara, my best friend since that first devastating graduation day, takes her usual seat beside me, under the table. She squeezes my hand, the Rachel Summer Scholarship Fund. I begin will provide full tuition for survivors of family financial abuse. My voice carries strength. I once thought impossible. Every recipient receives mentoring, legal support, and trauma counseling. The projector illuminates our first-year goals. My hand touches the diploma in my pocket. The one I earned 6 years ago, Master's in Business Administration. This time, every seat held someone who chose to be there, who chose me. Tara and her husband whooped the loudest. When I crossed that stage, my therapy group brought flowers. My team from the Financial Abuse Survivors Network filled an entire row. Even my landlord came, the woman who changed my locks that first terrifying night in Portland when my family tried to break in. The meeting ends with unanimous approval. Sarah's eyes shine as board members share their own survival stories. The shame that once paralyzed her begins to crack back in my office. I prepare for tonight's TED Talk. Breaking the Chains, Recognizing Family Financial Abuse, glows on my laptop screen. My phone buzzes. With a text from Logan, dinner reservations at 8, proud of you, babe. 3 years of dating, and he's never once asked to borrow money, never made me feel selfish for having savings, never questioned why I keep separate accounts. The autumn sunsets behind Portland's skyline as I pack up my office wall. Holds one last photo, last year's Friendsgiving feast. 20 survivors turned family crowded around my dining room table. Some crying, some laughing. All healing. My therapy journal sits open on the desk. Today's entry reads, "Peace isn't the absence of conflict, it's the presence of choices." Us. The elevator carries me down to the lobby where Logan waits. His smile reaches his eyes. The first thing I noticed about him, No hidden agenda, no manipulation, ready for your big night. He offers his arm. I think of that frozen February morning standing alone in a parking lot with my first diploma of Uncle Mike's Super Bowl party, that my family chose over my graduation of my brother's stolen money and my father's gambling debts. I nodded and smiled, and we went to the parking lot. He drove to the event. An hour later, the stage lights warm my face as I take the microphone. 3,000 people lean forward in their seats, my chosen family scattered throughout the crowd, tissues ready. The best revenge I begin is a life well lived, but the greatest victory that's helping others live well too. The words flow without rehearsal. I tell them about empty seats and broken promises, about the weight of expectations and the freedom of boundaries, about building a family from scratch, based on respect instead of blood, in the front row. Naomi sits straighter than I've ever seen her behind. Her dozens of survivors I've mentored, their faces reflect back the strength they found within themselves. My hand touches the diploma in my blazer pocket. Not the old one, the new one, the one earned in an auditorium full of love. The standing ovation thunders. Mark beams from his seat. Tara whistles through her fingers. My therapy group bumps fists. The next day in my office, I adjust the frame, holding both graduation photos, empty seats beside full ones, broken dreams beside realized ones. My reflection meets my eyes in the glass. The scared girl from that parking lot is gone. In her place stands a woman who finally understands. Sometimes the family you lose is the price of the family you find. I touch my original diploma one last time before heading home. Tomorrow brings another survivor through my door, another chance to turn pain into power. My phone lights up with a text from Naomi. Thank you for showing me what's possible. I smile, typing back 4 words that took me years to learn. You are always possible.